Hello and welcome back to the Unbothered Moms. I'm your co-host Bridget, along with my co-host.
Kat, are you ready?
I am so ready.
Let's dig in.
Let's do it.
Let's go. We are so happy to have you here with us. And what's going on this week? How are you?
I'm pretty good, actually. I feel like the weather's been better. Huge mood booster. And yeah, I mean, life's kind of good.
Life's good. No big complaints.
No big complaints.
You're living the unbothered life.
I'm living the unbothered life. Minus, I do have a lot of laundry to do, but
Laundry?
I
love laundry. Random fact about me, love laundry.
Hate it.
I know. I do laundry every single day. Am I wasting water?
No.
I mean, I do like a small load. So it's not like a massive bunch of laundry every day, but keep up with it that way. Unlike you, I'm assuming you have piles. Okay. You're one of those. That's where we differ.
Work on that. We'll work on that.
Speaking of being unbothered in life, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, which is where we differ completely, is calls versus texts versus emailing. Now, I have always been one of those people growing up. Mom, can you call so-and-so for me and do this? Literally still. Like now that I'm a mom, I have to do that stuff. But I prefer get it done by text, get it done by email. Even though my job is talking to people all the time, I still do not like it. And you're opposite, right?
I will always call somebody. I will always also approach a stranger in a store to ask a question. I'll always approach a store associate to ask for help, whereas other people will be like, I'll just figure it out myself, or like, I'll like look around for it. It's like, well, no, like, let's just have a conversation with somebody.
We are so opposite. I'll be like 30 minutes in, like, I can't find it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I just found it in 30 seconds because I asked this nice associate over here.
I asked Lisa in customer service and she said, here you go.
Now, why do you think you're so comfortable with that, especially like calling when you were young, just making calls? I feel like a lot of people I know weren't that way at all. So how do you think you became that person who was so comfortable with that?
Well, I feel like growing up, like we didn't have texting.
Yeah.
Right. So like I had to call my friends' house phones.
Yeah.
We didn't have cell phones. And ask, like their parent would answer and ask for them.
Bridget's on the phone with their parent for like 10 minutes. Like, hey.
Well, so that's the
thing.
I would started to have conversations like in like middle school and high school with my friends' parents because that's who answers the phone. So it's like, oh, hi, how are you? Like, I don't know. I've always been like conversational, but I feel like that's what helped me get over that hump and why like in college and even after college, like I was the friend who would like order the pizza. I would call and order food. I have no problem doing it. So like my one friend in college, she hated it so much. And she'd be like, I want to get a wrap before like class, but I just like don't want to call, but I'm not gonna have time to like stop and wait. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I want one too. She's like, okay, I'll just buy yours, just call.
So you were literally getting free things for like just making a call.
Yes. Bargaining, if you will.
See, I really appreciate that. And I think what's so cool about nowadays, because everyone has their different anxieties, but I know calling is a really big thing for some people. I mean, I'm not anxious about it anymore. When I was young, I really was.
It's probably, do you think it's a form of social anxiety? Because it's not like social, but it's like talking to people?
I'm not sure. I think it's like the fear of rejection in a weird way that they're going to be like, no, you can't have that. Or we can't do that appointment for you. Because it's just, you don't know the people on the other line. So there's this fear of like, am I going to say the wrong thing? Are they going to assume the wrong thing? I don't know. It's very bizarre. But I was definitely enabled by my mom to not call anyone forever. And my mom, thank you, Mom, she'll still call anyone if I was like, hey, can you do this for me? Which I don't.
Stop it.
I don't. But she would in a heartbeat. She'd be like, let's do it. Who am I calling?
Oh my gosh, I love that.
But what I was saying is I think because so many people have this social anxiety, we'll call it, of making calls, now all these different places have apps. Or they'll text you like, hey, press C to confirm your daughter's appointment.
I do love that feature.
Yes. Or they'll email and say, we can get back to you by email. And I think it's very inclusive for the people who feel so uncomfortable and bothered
by
making calls.
Yeah.
It's such a weird weird aspect.
Well, even so, I was booking a tattoo appointment, and you can literally do it online.
Yeah.
Like my friend literally booked a time, a place you can attach images of what you want, but she did it all online.
Which is really cool.
And guess what I did?
You called.
I called. We literally called, like, we went to the same place. We were like talking about like good tattoo artists in the area. We agree like this is a good shop to go to. And then she filled out the form and she's like, here's my confirmation. Like, this was so easy. I was like, great. She's like, did you do that? I was like, no, I called.
And she's like, mind blown, right?
And I even went in for a consultation to share pictures in person. Like,
And like,
why?
yeah.
Because I feel like I'm 33, I'm a millennial technically, but some aspects of my behavior, I'm
Are
like,
not.
is very like my mom.
Yes.
Like, you know.
But do you think that's also down to maybe how you were raised?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like I was the youngest of 3, so I was babied and I was the only girl.
And I was the
Like,
oldest.
let me do it for you. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to get my brother on here and see what his viewpoint is.
We're coming for you. You will be on here. I'll be the mediator. I'll sit right here and I'll be like, your turn, your turn. I know, but that's funny.
Yeah.
But I think that even in any type of environment, we enable people in certain ways.
Oh, totally.
You know, so
like I enable my friend. I never forced her to call.
See,
I was just like, yeah, I'll do it.
You're like, cool, I'll do it. But you enabled her to not have to call.
Well, it's also
her weird social thing.
But it was also painful to watch somebody who's uncomfortable on a call to do the most basic thing. It makes me uncomfortable.
So you're like, I'll just do it.
So it's like selfish where I'm like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I'm just going to do this for you.
I'm going to do this because I literally cannot watch you and I want that free wrap.
It's twofold.
It's twofold. And that, that brings up, I think, my next point. It's about matching energies, being complementary energies.
Yes.
You had it with your friend. You complimented her energy by bringing your energy that worked. Like, okay, you can't do this. I'll do this for you. And it was like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that in life in general with energies of people?
Oh my God. Well, I'm kind of hippie-ish. Do my saging. I do my crystals. I do the full moon cleanse of my crystals. So I think most people, just based on that alone, I'm all about the energy. Yeah. And even at work, it's about I haven't really met most of the people I work with because we've been remote for so long. And then I started a new job during the pandemic. So there's a lot of people I've never met in person, but you can still vibe and feel energy through video, through phone, email,
feel people,
the sign-offs.
The sign-offs. Did you see that sign-off? There was so much aggression in that sign-off.
Yeah. And my overuse of exclamations.
Ooh, that might bother some people.
But
some people love it.
But it's coming from a good place.
That's
what I'm just trying to portray.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And I feel that way with matching energies. If I am not feeling your energy, bye. I can't. I cannot.
Sometimes it's like an energy sucker.
It is.
I've had people in my life that just being around them, just maybe even in their physical presence, is draining for some reason. Or just holding a conversation with them is physically draining and you get tired.
Yeah. And have you ever been in those conversations with people to where you're talking about yourself and something that's important to you and they ask about it and then it goes to them and you're like, ooh, that went quickly. And I know that sometimes people just try to relate and let you know that you're not alone, but there's a certain way to do it. Because if I'm telling you about my dog dying, don't look at me and say, yeah, my dog died too. That doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
That's when you gotta read the room. You have to know the energy. You have to know how to match that and say, I'm here for you. Whatever you need. I'm really sorry that happened. And then down the line, you're like, yeah, my dog died too.
Right. I think it's also emotional intelligence, which I think with the age of technology in general, there's less of that because there's less person-to-person interaction.
That's so true.
So there's less opportunities to learn and kind of hone that skill so that when it does come to critical conversations, whether it be with a partner, a friend, an acquaintance, whoever, colleague, sometimes people lack that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of keyboard warriors.
Oh,
right?
don't even
Hide behind, like,
started.
not even your
Yes.
social media, but even at work. And I think of it and I'm like,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm just going to make up a name, but listen, Tony, don't come at me with that attitude. Because as soon as we get on the phone, you're going to be like, oh, hi, Kat, blah, 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 blah. So I don't understand where people get off of like hiding behind the keyboard,
Yeah.
hiding behind their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Come at me with that energy in real life.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation.
Yep.
I hate that. That really bugs me.
Same.
I'm like, be you all around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need your dumb responses or whatever. And I just can't. But energy is so important. I feel like you just feel it from people. And same thing about, have you ever met someone you just don't like?
Yeah. Like you just meet them and I like people. I'm a people person.
And never would have known.
And meet somebody and you're just like I always like want to like them.
Mm-hmm.
Because like why would you not want it? Like if you get introduced to somebody, like a friend of a friend,
you're excited.
Instance, you're
like
excited.
A new person. This could be a new friend.
Yes.
You like them. I want to like them.
Right. And then you're just like, why does my friend like them?
Yes.
Like then you question, you're like, okay, I must be like for me, I'm like, okay, I must be missing something because this person's probably really awesome.
Going back in for seconds.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just like, okay,
no.
And it could be the same with like partners. Like if you get introduced to like somebody like boyfriend or girlfriend and you're just like,
yes. I don't know if we have a thing over there, but
you're just like, I don't get it,
No. And you wonder like, why do you like them so much? I think they're obnoxious or not even obnoxious. There's been people I've just met though that I just do not vibe with.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell you why. There's no rhyme or reason. Nothing happened.
Right.
I just feel you in your presence and whatever energy you bring, which someone else may love. And I freaking hate it.
Yeah,
I am like, please get out of my bubble. There's something going on. I can't have your whatever this is in my space because it's not working for my energy, my vibe, my well-being.
Yeah.
It's weird though. It's weird how that happens.
It is. And I think you get more aware of that as you get older too. And you get more secure with yourself that you can kind of be like, okay, yes to this person.
Yeah.
To this person. And then just like, no.
Yeah. And I think that's so important because when you're young, you feel bad of not liking someone, or you feel like you have to like everyone and you're spread so thin. That's why when you get older, you're like, no, I just don't vibe with you. Like it's not that I don't like you.
Yeah.
We just will never be friends. And, but it is interesting when it happens. Like if someone met you from home and was like, ooh, I don't like Bridget, I would be so like hurt by that. I would probably go cry in a closet with a bottle of wine. My life is over. Just because I feel this strong connection with you that if someone else I love didn't feel good about you, I would be like, oh, I gotta cut them out.
Could you imagine what? Okay, so we went to, where did we go for your birthday?
Connecticut.
Went to Connecticut for Kat's birthday.
Stayed in this really old haunted mansion, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely a little creepy, but really, really cool. Would definitely want to go back. But I was like the new girl. Because I had just met Kat like not even a year before that. Yeah. Became really fast friends.
We fell in love.
I mean, yeah. Let's just call it what it is.
We did. We fell in love.
Let's call it what it is. But I was going and it was Kat's aunts, sister-in-law, cousins, like friends, family,
everyone, all the girls.
Yeah,
that I've known forever. Like years and years, like
what?
10, 15, 20 years.
Going there, I was excited. I had no anxiety about it. I was just pumped to meet people.
That makes me happy. And was it because of how you feel about us and our friendship that you were like, she must be surrounded by good people?
Yeah, because I've had experiences like with my old roommate Danielle. Like if she's friends with somebody, they're a good person and they're fun to be around. My friends, Adrian and Jess, they have friends that I've got introduced to through them, and they're all great people. So it's like, I feel like if I have a friend that I'm close with and I get introduced to people that they're also close with,
it's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
You just get the one random sometimes where you're like, ooh, fail.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Then I'm like, okay, who do you know in the group that got you in? Or what are you going through in your life that's making you this way? Because I think I was that way for a little bit. I
That's
lost
a really
myself
solid point
through the end of my marriage, separation, divorce. If somebody met me and they didn't like me, looking back, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Because I didn't like myself.
No, that's a really good point. And the people you were around had known you prior
totally
to that. So they kept you around and they tried to build you up and be like, it's cool, it's fine, you're just going through it. But if I met you then, I probably would have been like, no,
yeah, because you met me like at a really good time.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't look great. I mean, you did.
You looked homeless. If I didn't see you get out of your tinted black car, I would have said, does she have a home?
Oh.
Does she own a brush?
Does she own a brush?
Does she have anything
other than sweatpants?
Literally.
So we look the same. That's why it was cool. So I'm like, I forgot to brush my teeth as I rolled out of bed. Don't care. No shame in my game. It happens sometimes, people. Okay. Got good teeth. They're good. They're fine. But it does happen. But yeah, energies, matching energies. And I just think it's super important to find your people. Don't waste time on people.
Find your tribe.
You will know if you are not feeling it with someone, if you don't have this intrinsic like feeling of, hey, this can be my person.
Or just like peace, like calmness. Like I feel like when I get around people that like I don't vibe with, sometimes I get like anxious or like I feel like
really
chaotic
and not
or something. I'm just like more observing, like, okay, what's going on here?
But do you think there are people out there who don't feel anything? Like they just hang out with anyone and they're like, oh, I didn't really notice that they had bad energy. Or like people who just aren't, I don't know, aware. That has to happen, right?
Yeah, I think.
Or maybe just young people who haven't really found.
No, I think it happens at all ages.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a certain self-realization that you have to go through to be comfortable enough to like say yes or no to people.
And sometimes you just don't go through it at all.
Yeah. Like I know people that like will never say no to like a birthday party or a baby shower or like a wedding, and it's like
saying no to all of them.
Yeah, it's like
it's overwhelming.
Yeah, like I'm triple booked for one day in September, and I'm just not going to any of it.
No. See, good for you to make that decision. Yeah. That's so important.
Like well wishes. Wish I could be there. I will send you a gift, but like no.
Taking that for you, I think that's important.
Yes, you only get this is probably one of the best things my ex ever said was that you have 52 weekends in a year. That's it. That's not a lot. 52 Saturdays.
See, this is where we're opposite. I'm like, 52 sounds like a lot of weekends, but weekends to me are crazy.
Right.
I don't really want the weekends.
Oh.
Weeks are like more planned out for me. Yeah. Weekends, I'm like, ooh, busy time with the kids. So weekends are kind of chaotic. So I'm like, 52 is a lot. Can we maybe have 12?
But for me, I'm like 52, you're right. Like I need to like really consciously make an effort to enjoy those 52.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're looking at the entire year, 52 is not that much. Oh, that's a good point. I'm going to take that I'm going to put that one in my pocket.
Take it, put it in your pocket.
I'm going to put it in my pocket
for later.
I love it. Another thing with energies, I guess we could roll into is the media, celebrities, all these things, which carry over into like personal lives too for us. But I saw the thing with Britney Spears about how her ex-husband is going to tell all these things unless she gives money. And we can talk about Vanderpump Rules and Tom Sandoval and Ariana and how he like belittled her on national TV and saying like, if you didn't stay with me, you're going to hurt yourself and like all this stuff. And I just think, why do people do that after they get out of relationships? These are people that you care about, you love, you have history with. What? And I've done it before, not like super trash people. I'm like, they meant nothing. They suck.
Yeah.
Snort all the time. You know, just minor things. But when you think of it as a whole, it's like, I think history is so important with people. You know, if you spent any amount of like kind of long-term time with someone, How do you turn the tables to just completely detach yourself and then go on like the negative? I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, why have you been in a situation like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like it comes from a place of like hurt, like people get hurt and then they just react without thinking. So whether that be like, you know, in like our like basic human, not
We are
celebrity
not
status.
celebrities yet, but you 5 viewers might get us there.
Everybody share to one person. We can give it to, what's that math? 10.
I'm not doing this with you again.
80,000 days. 80,000 viewers with one share each.
Basic math.
Yes. But no, I think it's coming from a place of hurt. Like people have definitely like threatened, you know, I'm gonna post nasty things about you, or they actually do it. Or it's a video on social media, or like they talk behind your back to people, and it's like
so hurtful.
At the end of the day, as long as like I think it's somewhat easier to control, right? Not being a celebrity and not being in the eye because you have a smaller circle,
literally,
so you can control the narrative,
right?
If my character ever comes into question and somebody hears something about me, I think probably highly enough about myself that they just wouldn't believe that because they're like, that doesn't even sound like Bridget.
Yeah.
So if there's like lies and things like that, now
and you would hope they would come to you and say, "Hey,
totally. And now if somebody was like, "I'm going to expose unless you pay me," I'll be like, "Well, I guess you just have to expose me because I have no money."
Spent it all on my podcast.
My podcast. I can offer you this microphone that you can pawn off.
No, we need it very badly. True. But she has 2 old ones that don't really work, so we'll give them to you.
But yeah, so I would just be exposed at that point. But
yeah. I just always wonder, and I guess it's because I'm a very sensitive person.
I think that's where we differ as well.
Sensitive.
You take things more to heart, and you're more emotional about things. Whereas I'm just like
emotional. Yeah, you're like, okay, see you never.
Yeah,
Satan.
Literally, see
and I'm
never.
just like, oh my god, but we spent so much time together, and now you're saying mean things, and it's hurting my feelings. But I'll also kick your ass. So that's the other thing. Like that's where we're very similar. Like I don't let people walk all over me, but I'm very sensitive. I'm an empath.
Yes.
To the core. Like we'll get into that maybe another episode because that could be a whole episode itself. But yeah, I think too much more than most people will feel. I think the average person feels. So when I think of it and I even see things with celebrities, I get emotional thinking, yeah, they're a celebrity. Cool. You have all this money, but like they still must be hurt.
They're still a person.
They're still a person. They must be hurt and they must be feeling like, hey, this person I have history with, they said they would never do this. And now they're doing this. Yeah. So for me, whether you're a celebrity or just an average Joe Schmo, it's sad. Yeah. It's sad when people do things like that to each other when you share history.
Just being like vindictive and stuff. And at some point you probably loved that person.
Yes, that's
whether it's a friendship or an actual like romantic relationship.
Even like a colleague. I've had colleagues that like I've loved as friends of being like, my God, you know, and then like if they got fired or something, it went south and I'm like, but that wasn't on me. It was not interesting. So it's all just about the people and how they deal with
rejection or hurt or whatever it is. Yeah. Don't take that on yourself. That's not for you to take on.
Empath, I know. I literally have
problems. For me, I'm just like, oh, okay.
I should go get my brain checked.
Yeah.
Post-mortem, take my brain.
They were like, how did this one survive?
Like,
as long as she did.
I am so sensitive. Do not show me the Sarah McLachlan commercial. I'll tell you that. In the arm.
Oh my God.
Every time.
But why do you even watch it? Like, I just turn it off. I'm just like, this again.
It hooks me instantly. And I just cry. And I'm like, I'll save you, puppies. I've given to those things, charities before, which I know it's just like probably a scam.
Do you have a Nigerian prince?
I do not. I do not have a Nigerian prince. I do not have anyone, but I always give to like random things online where it's like for my birthday. I'm taking a, you know, like on Facebook, they do like for so-and-so's birthday, please give to the wounded vets thing.
Oh.
And I'm like, absolutely.
See,
here's my money.
This is, and I'm doing some self-reflection as you're talking, and I feel like I need to fix this about myself. So I wouldn't normally do that, but if somebody's like, buy the bride a drink, I'm like, $30.
You're Venmoing for that, and I'm like saving the wounded warriors.
The amount of girls I've met in the women's bathroom that have been like, I'm like, oh my God, again, oh my God, are you here for a birthday party? Are you here for a bachelorette? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, like, let me buy you a round of drinks. Why? I don't have excess money like that to buy strangers a round of drinks. I just want them to have a good time. And they're already having a good time.
No, they don't need you to help them have a good
They
time.
don't.
It's a problem. But that's where we are the same but different.
Yeah.
You're giving, very giving.
Yeah.
Just to maybe people who don't need it.
They don't need it. Like, maybe I should donate to a charity.
Yeah.
Instead of the charity
research
cases.
also.
Yes.
Instead of the charity cases. Yeah.
Or like the amount of times I've seen on the highway, like if I'm a passenger, because don't text and drive.
Passenger.
Venmo this somebody's birthday. I'm like, oh my God. Idiot.
I'm the one who's like, F off. I'm not giving you any money. Your girls are surrounding you. They can buy you some drinks.
Okay, but have you ever set up a Venmo account for a party? Because we did that for my friend's bachelorette party, and it was the cheapest bachelorette party I ever went to. It was great.
I think that's crazy, though. I think that's so bizarro. But this is where we're
it was great.
I'm like, cool, but also use your own freaking money for your stupid fucking wedding.
Yeah.
But I guess it's innovative. It's
if people, innovative. I mean, we're not forcing anybody to do it.
I know it's innovative, but I'm also like, you know, that cat in that cage could have used that money. In the angel. Don't actually sing. You'll break the glass.
I will. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, also it's Shania. We do a really good Shania.
That was our first microphone experience.
It's our first microphone experience, and this is our
second venture. Outside from karaoke.
Outside from karaoke, which we gave people a good show. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. We should do it again.
We should.
Maybe tonight.
No, I have a massage.
Oh, yeah.
Bougie.
Self-care.
We love self-care.
We love self-care.
We'll talk about that on another episode.
We'll talk about that because that could be like a week's worth of talking.
Yes. And the different types of self-care. This is good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been fun. Thanks for chatting with me today.
Of course. Thanks for allowing me to chat with you.
Yeah, because I'm so mean that I would just kibosh you in the head to get you just stop talking. But this was fun.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening and joining us.
We'll see you next week. Where's the clap? Bye, guys.